In this video, we will review the new Sonus faber Sonetto G2 loudspeakers collection, which features innovative new Cork internal chambers and Camelia mid-range drivers. These new speakers bring Suprema's flagship technology to a more compact package that fits easier in more homes and wallets. Since its inception in 1983, Sonus faber has always garnered attention with every product they make. They combine elements of old-world Italian craftsmanship with today's technology in a way rarely seen. From their least to most expensive models, Sonus faber gives each product its smooth musical sound and top-quality finish and design. Now, when we first saw the $750,000 Sonus faber Suprema flagship speaker earlier this year, we were floored by the technology and craftsmanship, and that was before they even powered them up. The Sonus faber Suprema is a speaker system that everyone should hear at least once. It is hard to believe that high-end home audio has come this far and sounds this real. Now, we understand that the Supremas are a product that will only work for dedicated music lovers with super deep pockets and a full complement of flagship gear. But the other bonus point to these companies making flagship speakers of this level is that the achievements made on these products will make their way into its more down-to-earth products. That is precisely what Sonus faber has done with their new Sonetto G2 loudspeakers. The Sonetto G2 speakers showed that Sonus faber is dedicated to improving the art of speaker design and performance. These speakers have lute-shaped, visually appealing cabinets designed to improve sound dispersion characteristics. While this gives the speakers an elegant look, it also helps them sonically disappear in the room. In addition, each floor-standing and bookshelf speaker in the new G2 lineup has a new concrete base to provide more stability and better vibration management. Plus, we think that the concrete matched up with the leather on the front, and each of the finishes just looks outstanding. Color choices are walnut, wenge, and piano black, and they feature an open-pore fine wood finish that allows the wood grains to pop and be more tactile. The process gives the Sonetto G2 speakers a detailed and refined finish. The mid-range and tweeter Unity flange is also wrapped in leather, taking cues from Stradivari and Olympica Nova lines. The top panel veneer is 45-degree angled and embossed with the SF logo. Each driver has a metal finished ring around it with a separate grille for each driver. Sonus faber has some of the finest finished speakers on the planet, and the Sonetto G2 is no exception. The woofers and mid-woofers feature a paper pulp sandwich cone, which ensures a natural tone and a precise and dynamic bass response. The surround of these drivers has a camellia pattern that adds a unique appeal and helps reduce interference and improve sound dispersion. The tweeters are silk domed with a unique damped apex dome. Standard soft dome tweeters have issues with the dome's apex sometimes being out of phase compared to the rest of the dome. This causes a high frequency roll-off as the tweeter nears 20 kHz. To combat this issue, Sonus faber has added a DAD lens that fixes the phase issue, allowing their soft dome tweeters to perform all the way out to 40 kHz. Having this ability brings two things to the table. It is well known that while human hearing can't reach above 20 kHz, and most of us are lucky to even hear 14 kHz, when a speaker can cleanly play above that, it can affect what we hear in the lower frequencies. Also, when a tweeter rolls off its response, it will generally roll off non-linearly, affecting the frequency response. Having the Sonetto G2 speakers extend to 40 kHz allows the response to remain linear and more controlled in the audio band. The Sonetto 5G2, Sonetto 8G2 floor-standing speakers, and the Sonetto Center G2 center channel speaker get a special new mid-range driver taken directly from the Suprema flagship speaker. This new mid-range is called the Camelia mid-range speaker. This specially made driver has the shape of the camellia flower, which Sonus faber's engineers said avoids the resonances associated with round-shaped mid-range drivers. The cone is left raw and unpainted to ensure total sound purity. The driver is mounted on a unique organic basket with an aluminum phase plug to optimize the frequency response and clarity on or off axis. Now, the organic basket is a unique asymmetrical driver basket, much like natural occurring shapes and structures. The organic spokes of the basket are also shaped to allow better airflow for the back wave of the driver. Now, when Sonus faber was developing the Suprema flagship speaker, They found that using natural cork to build the inner chamber for the mid-range and tweeter had wonderful dampening properties, which improved the speaker's resolution and natural sound quality. Now, they also engineered the shape of the cork inner chamber to optimize dampening and standing wave reduction. With no square walls or straight panels, the chamber's organic shape greatly reduces resonances and sound coming back into the driver. The Sonetto G2, Sonetto G2 floor standing speakers, and Sonetto Center G2 center channel all get this special chamber, which pushes them towards that incredible natural sound we heard on their flagship Suprema speaker system. Now, when Sonus faber designs a speaker line, they always consider every user and room situation. This allows them to develop a model lineup within a series that will satisfy just about anyone. The Sonetto Gen 2 line has two standout speakers, the Sonetto G2 and Sonetto G2. Both are two-way speakers with the 1.1-inch DAD soft dome tweeter. The Sonetto G2 has a 5-inch midwoofer with a sensitivity of 86 dB, whereas the G2 has a 6.5-inch midwoofer with a sensitivity of 87 dB. This means they will need some good current to really show their best. The larger woofer in the Sonetto 2 takes the bass all the way down to 42 Hz compared to the very respectable 52 Hz on the smaller unit. It's nice that the reflex duct on the bookshelves is front firing, which means they will work better in bookcase situations than some other brands that use a rear port. But like any great stand-mount speaker, you will get best sound on their stand with them located further away from the room boundaries. However, we always recommend you test the best locations in your room, and if you need more help, contact our experts so they can help you optimize the location of your speakers in your specific room. Next up is a small floor standing speaker, which is the Sonetto G2. This 2.5-way mini tower uses the same 1.1-inch DAT soft dome tweeter and two 6.5-inch woofers, one doing only bass duty and one doing mid-range and bass duties. Sensitivity is 88 dB, so these are a little bit easier to drive, but we still suggest good power for them as well. For a small to medium-sized room, these will do a great job, and if you spend some time dialing them in, they will provide impressive imaging and a very natural mid-range. Now, the two larger floor standing speakers are the Sonetto G2 and Sonetto G2. The G2 uses the same 1.1-inch tweeter, but features the 6.5-inch Camelia mid-range driver and cork inner chamber. It features two 6.5-inch woofers with a bass extension of 35 Hz, while the Sonetto G2 has two 8-inch woofers with an extension of 33 Hz, which gets you another 3 Hz on paper, but the power and impact to our ears was far superior. All three towers use downward firing reflex ports, which gives you a lot more placement flexibility. Plus, that concrete base is just super cool, providing a solid platform underneath. Sensitivity is up in the 5 at 89 dB and the 8 is at 90 dB, making these a lot easier to drive than the bookshelf models. However, we find all Sonus faber speakers greatly benefit from high quality power, and you'll just notice more effortless sound with a more robust amplifier. These two are a bit of a jump in price from the Sonetto G2, but boy, that mid-range driver and cork cabinet make a world of difference to our ears. For small to medium-sized rooms, the Sonetto G2 should be just fine. But if you have a fairly large space, the bigger Sonetto G2 will give you that great impact. And like all great speakers that cost far more than these, careful attention to the setup of the Sonetto speakers will reward you greatly. This is an area where our music lovers at Audio Advice are here to help you if you purchase your speakers from audioadvice.com. We can get a good feel for your room and guide you on the best starting points and give you some tips on some fine tuning to get you the very best sound. Now moving on, for you home theater lovers, Sonus faber has you covered here as well. The Sonetto G2 is a wall mount home theater speaker with the same 1.1-inch DAD tweeter and a 6.5-inch woofer as the Sonetto G2. This will be a perfect match for the surround channels with the same drivers, and its bass extends quite low for a speaker in this form factor. The Sonus faber Center G2 rounds out the lineup for anchoring dialogue and on-screen movie action. The center channel speaker uses the same 1.1-inch DAD tweeter as the other speakers in the line. With the 4-inch Camelia mid-range driver and two 6.5-inch woofers, the Center G2 provides incredibly realistic dialogue in every movie that we tested. Now, our team absolutely loves testing Sonus faber speakers. We just love their attention to detail, and the unboxing experience is always just excellent. The Sonetto G2 lineup shows that Sonus faber cares as much about its affordable flagship models as it does about all their other models below it. The binding posts are exceptional quality, so connecting the Sonus faber G2s up to any system was super easy. Now, for a lot of our testing, we used the Sonetto G2, which you can see behind me, and the Sonetto G2 bookshelf speakers, and paired them up with a Macintosh MA352 2-channel integrated amp to power them up. Now, Shannon and the Clams' new album, The Moon is in the Wrong Place, is a great new album with an eclectic mix of instruments and sounds. The first thing we noticed with the Sonetto G2 floor standing speakers was the vocal clarity. The Camelia midrange brought a sense of realism and transparency, bringing out every detail in this album. Now, they just had that smooth musical sound that Sonus faber speakers are known for. The treble from the 1.1-inch DAD soft dome tweeter is sweet and allows us to hear all the treble details without any peakiness or response issues. The bass was also dynamic, punchy, and realistic with a good sense of bass detail. Now, this speaker can be listened to for hours without fatigue or feeling like the detail is just being shoved down your throat. Imaging and soundstage abilities are also excellent, and the speakers simply disappear with the right recordings and the right setup. The entire Sonetto lineup as a whole gives you that famous Sonus faber sound with its warmth in the mid-range while retaining all of the musical details and a treble that seems to do the magic trick of being all day enjoyable while presenting a very vivid picture of the music. Only Sonus faber's higher level models were better than these new Sonettos. Now next, we grabbed some popcorn and connected up the Sonetto Center G2 and the Sonetto Wall G2 to the system with a Macintosh MX123 AV processor and a Macintosh MC255 5-channel solid-state amp. Playing Mad Max Fury Road showed us that the Sonetto G2 line is fully capable of movie dynamics without strain or compression. The Center G2, with its 4-inch Camelia midrange driver, gave us tremendous vocal clarity that we also heard in the 5G2, which is excellent for a speaker primarily handling dialogue. It amazed us with this system how we just wanted to keep turning up the volume. There was no strain, compression, or fatiguing treble anomalies that can creep into lesser speakers when playing movie soundtracks. The Sonetto G2 speakers exhibited great tonal accuracy, and each model kept the same sound signature, which is vital to keep movie soundtracks sounding realistic. Overall, we felt that the Sonetto G2 speakers performed great with music and movies and gave us all of the realism and clarity that we could ask for in their price points. Overall, we were pretty impressed with this new Sonus faber Sonetto G2 lineup of speakers. They keep that smooth and musical sound that all Sonus faber speakers are known for. All models have the same overall sound signature, giving you more clarity, focus, and refinement as you move up in the line. With an impedance of 4 ohms and sensitivities in the high 80 dB range, they do need some good power to be their best, but they have great scalability that will showcase improvements as your equipment improves. Combine these factors with the craftsmanship and aesthetics that Sonus faber is known for, and you will have a winning combination. Now, the Sonus faber Sonetto Generation 2 speakers allow technical achievements like the Camelia midrange drivers and Cork inner chambers to be within reach for people who simply don't have the room or budget for Sonus faber's flagship Suprema speakers. If you have more questions or are wondering if these speakers are still the right ones for you, call or chat with our team of experts at audioadvice.com. Also, if you're planning a home theater or media room setup, you have to check out our Home Theater Central on our website, which has everything that you need to get started, including our free home theater design tool. Plus, when you purchase from Audio Advice, you get free shipping, lifetime expert support, and a price guarantee. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss out on any of our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.